planning. We put in for two board members for training.
Yeah, no, you're ahead of me by a line.
Oh, sorry, which one?
Yeah, I'm just saying the planning person service, that's
Yes.
$45 a meeting, right? And then they're getting that'd be a 3.5 if we did that across the board for everybody instead of the 3. Yes? Just asking. Well, I got my budget right. Compared to everybody else. Alright, and then, they did, yes, put in for training. So, that's, $2,995 for the planning board. And they got the same thing. They got, the one that's due this year, and they got another one due next year. What do you wanna do? Keep it in?
Yep.
I leave it in, yeah, if you gotta have the training, you gotta leave it in.
Very good.
How'd the number come from? Just coming down here and it goes to this line?
What's that?
So that amount right there is almost exactly what that change is.
Yeah, that's the subtotal. That's these columns.
It's all these right here though, coming down, right?
Should be a subtotal, yes, after each
That's what
one.
I'm saying. Change from 2023. Is that this column right here? Page 5 to page 6.
That's just the
That's
total
just
of the planning.
That's just planning.
Yeah.
Right, but
Okay.
it's a subtotal for the plan. Change. Because you're adding,
You're adding
this,
extra
and
training.
then, that's based on 3% of $45.
You add the $39.95 and 45.
So even though it went up 79%, it's basically all in that one line.
Because of
Yeah,
training.
it's 4,000,
Training.
4,040 bucks.
Right, so you can't really change it.
You can pair it if you wanna shut down some of the training.
No?
Does that include the attorney?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yep. Yeah, and we've been lucky we haven't been hit with, they haven't been hit with many large attorney bills. I think the only change here is cemeteries, right? I'm not missing anything?
Yep, and Barb has a sheet in there, they're asking for $600 for the Schuyler Falls Old Cemetery for the mowing.
This was an unusual year, but usually we get, it's the town's obligation to have the cemetery mowed.
Right.
It's in their town. And, we ran out of money way before. We ran out of need to keep mowing up there. So that's why she had asked to put the 300 in to have a couple extra mows if we need it next year. Everybody go with that?
Yeah.
Alright, this we don't have a lot of control over. So that's, right, we're on top page 7, yes.
Yep.
New state retirement. 21.1. Social Security is $2,000 increase. Medicare, $576. And workers' comp, $825. Health insurance, $31,314.
And that is an estimate because with the new board coming in and a new town clerk and a new
Could lose some,
supervisor,
could gain some.
I don't know who's gonna take the insurance.
Mary, does that figure right there reflect the HSA card?
Yes,
That's included in that?
yes, yes. So I put in for a guess of maybe 3 people going on the insurance. I don't know. I don't know who's coming on, so I can't predict.
Depends on who gets elected.
Right. And who takes the insurance.
Yep. It's a crystal ball.
So it could be low, it could be high.
Best guess. Is everybody gonna be alright with that, or they wanna pare it down some?
And that's only the general people, right? The office people? Yeah, not the highway.
No, they're, yeah. They're contractual.
So I mean, you've got 3 new board members coming on, you got a new town clerk coming on, you got a new supervisor coming on, so that's 5 people that could go on the insurance. I only put in 3, so like I said, it's high or low. You could have 5 people going on it, you could have 3 people going on it, you could have none.
So the only real way of putting a reduction would be to make copay contribution more. Then that would reduce the cost of it.
Well, you'd have to put not a copay, I mean, you mean the deductible, I mean the, what the employee pays?
Yes,
Yeah,
you could
pay-
increase that.
or we pay
I mean, we're not
20%.
talking highway here, we're talking,
Yeah, we pay 20%. But that would have to be done in your employee handbook. It's up to you if you want me to raise it or keep it at that figure or, like I said, I don't know.
What do you got on, right, how many are on right now? Uh, Is there only 3 right now?
No, it was like 6, 7. Yeah. Trying to think. 6.
Just leave it, you know, you could sit here all night trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I say just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
It also has my insurance as well, because retiring, it's in there that the town pays for my insurance, except for the 20%.
Interest and earnings, the next one. It's not got a 0 whack. Under revenues,
There's not a lot of people.
anybody wanna discuss anything else on that page? No? Corporation, general repairs. Excuse me, personal services. So here's where, we're gonna have $28,700.
And that's not set in stone, that's depending on their overtime. You know, that's, their set salaries in the union contract, of whatever the percentage is.
What are you looking at, the 28,700?
Yeah.
Page 9.
Oh, good. That's 2 more pages down.
That's pretty much for your overtime and stuff?
That's not, that's total salary is not a set salary what they're getting, it's just, you gotta put an increase in because you don't know what their overtime's gonna be. And their percentage that they're getting is in their contract, whatever it is, 4 point, I don't
Right.
know what it, I don't know the contract in front of me.
So that could be lower.
Right, yeah, more than likely it's gonna be lower, but you have to put money in there for overtime. They have two salaries, that one and the snow removal personal service.
I'm trying to figure out, Mary, is why it went up. That's the change from 2023.
Right,
So why it's going up,
50,000.
yeah,
it's just,
20,000.
like I said, it's just a guesstimate because you don't know what kind of overtime they're gonna have. They have, a salary that comes out of two line items.
Well, last year's was only 99,000. Right?
No, last year was 90,000, the year before that was 99.
Right.
And right now, you've already spent 90,000. But you gotta remember, we were short two people almost all summer
Right.
long. So we haven't really spent all of that this year because we've been short. Well, Mike's been short for, how long, Mike? And you're short again.
Yeah, Yeah.
So he hasn't had a 5-man crew all year long.
yeah, I don't know if everybody's aware, but I'm a man short.
Yeah, they got that
I mean, just 'cause we put that,
resolution last month with the resignation letter, so that they accepted the resignation.
And it was in the paper, Mike, I put it in the paper and it was in for 7 days. That's
Yes.
how they do it now.
Yeah,
And all over it goes out.
yeah, I see it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's high, that's all.
well, you take 5 guys at 4 point whatever percent, that's
But
quite a
the-
chunk.
But that's the increase.
Right, 28,000.
We're going from 143.5 to 172.2.
Yeah. I mean, you guys do whatever you want. It's not.
I mean, no, I know you do the
Yeah.
payrolls, so, I mean, you got a better idea on it than any of us. Mike would be the second best guy to talk to there because they're his guys.
But you put one more guy on full-time, that's gonna beat up that 28,000.
Like I said, he's spent 90,000 just in that line item already, but he's had 2 men short
Right,
for all summer long.
Right.
So, and some of the winter.
okay.
Yeah,
includes the raises.
Yeah, and plus the 4
Plus the
point,
raises, yeah.
plus the 4 point whatever, I
Yeah.
don't know what the raise is, 4 point something.
Yeah.
And then the
4.5.
same thing with the snow, you could have a bad year with overtime and snow, you could have a good year.
Alright. Guess we beat that one enough. General repairs, 1,485. Change, 2%. Everybody good with that? I think everything's going up. I think that's probably pretty modest. Yes?
Yeah.
Machinery. $80,000, that's a subtraction. That's a minus 28.6%.
Now, your machinery equipment, that's where you wanna talk about your truck.
Huh?
That's the machinery equipment, that's where you wanna talk if you wanna buy a truck.
Or-
How did we miss the line? Capital improvements.
That's your chips. Capital improvements is just your chips.
Oh,
you're talking on the pickup or a big tandem load?
Whatever you're buying for equipment, Mike, this year you had 280 in there, but that was because you bought
Loader.
loader
Right,
and
right.
something
You put
else.
extra in there.
No, we transferred 200,000 out of the general fund to buy that cash.
Not out of the general, the highway,
Huh?
out of the highway.
Previous to that.
So right now there's 200,000 in there and that's why he's asking for a truck. I don't know what else you're asking for equipment.
Well, there's just so much. It's very, very overwhelming. And there's a lot of stuff that's way overdo it there.
No, I know, we got you two, so I said, this year coming into it, see what we can do to get you up there again, but I
For
mean,
sure.
we got your two new, two new used plow trucks, right, that you wanted, plus we got you the brand new front end loader. So, and I know you want a road widener or whatever.
Yeah. So, you know, this is, there's a lot. It's pretty,
You know, like we have it, like trying to take care of your needs, that's for sure.
I just put in crazy money on a 22-year-old John Deere tractor that we've had. I put almost $8,000 in that. To keep it going so I can finish mowing roadsides this year. Everybody says, why don't you buy a new tractor, Mike? Why don't you buy a new tractor? I said, well, you gotta see the board. You know, I don't handle big money like that. You know, we need new tractors, we need a new pickup. You know, it's, what can I say? It's just never ending, you know? I know you can make up a wish list, but what's the sense?
Well, that money that you've got in, Mike, what equipment were you looking at for that kind of money?
The road widener, first of all.
But again, you put in for 200,000, and last year it was 280,000? You lowered it by 80,000?
We had added.
We added
No.
money last year.
They had that, you had
That was
that.
on the unallocated. We transferred over.
Usually it's.
And then I added like another 200,000 out of the general fund just to take care of the
loader.
floors
Oh, yeah.
that never made it through.
So you got the money to buy a pickup out of your funds right there if you want to.
Mhm.
Well, can we take any ARPA money out of that to put in his budget?
He's got.
Yeah, you can. I mean, ARPA money can even be used to improve the garage. You know, the leaky roof. You know, all them things.
Do we have any ARPA money allocated for that water system still? I mean, there's only so much that we keep taking away from.
Right, we had, from Macy Lane, depending on what that bids come in for that phase 1, and then if they ever get to the phase 2.
We haven't even gone out to bid though for phase 1, and you never really
There's all-
told anybody about phase 1, and I already told you phase 2, they really weren't interested to.
No, and that's why we
Borrow
broke it
money.
up that way, so at least we could try to, and that's another whole conversation, but at least we can try to get that loop back there and, they can pull water from both directions, and then we're gonna try increasing it at 2 pounds, and hopefully it don't blow the middle section apart.
I'd like to take some of that
I
ARPA.
don't know what to tell you. I can't.
Dust.
What were you
Close
saying,
it.
Sherman? I would like to figure out exactly what Mike absolutely needs. If we could take maybe 150 out of that ARPA money and put it into Mike's account, into his equipment fund,
Well, he's
maybe
got,
get his pickup truck and maybe get his road widener. I think it's legal to do that, correct? I'm not
he's got
100%.
money in his unallocated funds right now though.
Right.
We haven't used.
200, right?
I don't see the unallocated funds here. I don't know. You know,
I thought it was more than that.
If you look on
I think
this,
it's around,
look on
the
this
general
one.
year to date, 767. 2023.
Kevin,
Huh?
if you look on this sheet, this kind of tells, it's just an estimate.
No, I was looking at page 1 over there, where it'll say,
It's just an estimate. At the end of the year, he's gonna have about 824,000. But if we take out,
That's what I'm saying, right now he's got over 600,000 in there.
but we took out 200,000 of that is being taken out for next year's budget.
What's that?
200,000 is being taken out of that for next year's budget. For the equipment.
Yeah, well, we left it in there, like we did last year.
Right, so out of the
Another
824,
200,000.
it's 620, it'd be around 624. But that's, like I said, it's just a,
Yeah, it's like 600,000, it was unallocated fund with it. So I don't see a need why we'd have to transfer out of the general fund to that, just take it out of his unallocated highway fund. It doesn't make any sense to take it out of the general fund, because like I say, once you put it there, it's there forever. Whether he uses it or he doesn't use it. If it's in the general, you can always pull it out if need be as a line item. We could do that any meeting if you really got into trouble, and we could pull money out of the unallocated, put it in the highway and take care of his needs.
and what are you looking to buy for equipment? I went to the,
You spend it all. It's in the highway.
Well, I'll buy a brand new, Kenworth and the road widener.
There you go.
A nice little tractor that's closed in.
Mike, out of the 200,000, what are you buying?
Not much.
I can't buy a truck. I can't buy a big plow truck.
No.
200 anymore.
No, you're looking at 300 and what, 40?
Well, the
I
last,
think it's what Mike
it's
Farrell
been a
just
while,
paid
it
up
was
here.
305 the last time we were.
No, I think Mike, I've been going to their meetings,
Yeah.
it's $340,000,
Yeah, because they're,
338,000, 337.
they're gone up 30,000 plus just because of new emissions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's with the sander and the wing and
Yeah.
the
All dressed to
the
go.
plow
You just get in, you
and,
go.
I mean, but yeah, you're looking at
Yeah,
300, so that's what you gotta decide, is the board, how much they wanna keep putting in the unallocated. But, again, you have to kinda have an idea, remember that's why I asked you that a couple weeks ago? I said,
I've had all
tell
the
me what
ideas
your-
ever since the
Tell
first
me,
day I took over.
tell me what your priorities are, what one you want
I had
first.
a
'cause we
new
can't-
truck
we
the
can't-
first year I took over.
The town ain't gonna do
Do
it
it got a
all.
loader, which is fantastic, thank you. But,
And the two trucks, you were, you
Well,
you
they're-
found a good one from
That's-
Wilmington and another one was some, that you wanna know. Cause originally we were gonna buy you a brand new truck.
Like Vern had said earlier, you buy used, you're gonna have to put 10, 15 grand in it. But still, it beats better than buying a brand new truck.
Oh, you got those two for probably what, 60,000 altogether?
Yeah, this last one
Less
was
than
a fantastic deal, but I've had to put stuff in it, but still, we're still way ahead of the game, as far as I'm concerned.
But all I'm saying is, Mike.
But,
you
but if
figure out
I got
when you-
600,000 in it, then we should have a new truck first, and hope, brand new plow truck all ready to go. These men deserve something brand new to drive. I'd go with a road widener, that truck out there all rusted, rotting away, the little pickup. I'm willing to drive that till it dies, just for the highway. You know, so things will look better on the road. And the whole morale of the men up there, you know, instead of keep
Well, we
running.
usually buy equipment because you need to replace it, but yeah.
Well,
And I'm sure everybody likes new equipment, don't get me wrong.
Well,
And work it through, but that's what I'm saying, you're gonna have to figure out what you need next, what you think you're gonna need next. I thought, when I talked to you, you said the road
the road
widener,
widener, yeah.
which is what, about?
Yeah, but I
180,000.
have no idea. I'm ignorant to this. I never knew there was 800,000. I only took over a few years ago. I've never played with a budget. I'm learning, like you've said since day one, I'm learning stuff every meeting.
Right, well, that's what I told you last year, so we'll
and
buy you a brand new front end loader, you can afford it.
You know?
As long
That
as-
money's there for emergency too. It's not,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just want to spend because it's
See,
there.
No,
And that's-
no, you're right, because if you blew a motor up there and it was $40,000 to replace it, you gotta,
Every time we go to that garage, I get scared.
So that's
How
why I
much am I
say
gonna have to spend today?
2 pieces each year. And get yourself where you need to be. But you're the elected highway superintendent, so we're gonna say, hey,
Yeah, well,
what do you want?
The road
What do you
road
want?
widener is number one, cause the trucks, we're piecing them together, we're keeping them going good. I don't know what it's gonna do on the first day when we take them out, to have to use them.
So approximately how much?
For a new road widener,
Can that be moved
I think it was
afterwards?
111,000.
I'd move that money.
But
afterwards,
I'm in a
'cause that's
process,
gonna
man.
shoot our budget up.
I'm getting another
If we
quote
put more money in here.
from
Now
somebody
there
else.
comes, yeah, well, I mean, I actually didn't affect it last year when we took it out of the unallocated fund reserves. I was worried about the 2% tax cap and going over it. That's why I passed a law last year, because we moved like $500,000 over for capital improvement projects. It was lowered, it was new front end loader and all that other stuff, and it didn't even affect it. We changed the 2% tax cap one big enough.
So if we're talking 110,000 for a road walk, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Plus a pickup truck, that 200,000 is not enough.
That's what?
That's not enough, because that also covers all your other equipment that you gotta buy
Right.
for your vehicle.
Well, if we haven't allocated that ARPA money for anything, why can't we buy your truck and a road widener with that money and not even put it into next year's budget? We can buy it this year.
before year's end. That's the time to
Before year's
do it,
end, that's
because
what I'm
everything
saying.
keeps going up.
What are you scrapping out of the ARPA money project?
What have we got committed then? Just the splash pad, right? So far committed.
Macy Lane,
But we haven't,
You had-
originally we had like $200,000 for Mason Lane. I thought we were gonna go with Plan B and see if you can do it for 100.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going by what they said. It'd probably be about, don't quote me, it was over 100,000, yeah, just to do the back. But then you still got Rooks and Ave, you still got,
Now, at this point right now, I'm thinking,
40-something thousand in the splash pad.
right, and that we've committed. I think we should take 150,000 of it, get what he needs, which is the road widener and the pickup truck. Take your truck, make sure it's 100% and give it to
150 is not enough.
111.
What else he's
and-
got? What else he's got
What?
in there?
But why wouldn't you take that out of his unallocated funds that are just sitting there?
I thought he needed, well, because I was gonna say is that.
Because the ARPA money's gotta be used up quicker than the
Your
unallocated.
and the
unallocated funds,
25.
I thought you were just saying though that you're looking at.
The allocated
finding
funds can
another
stay in
piece
here
of,
forever.
you know, plow
Yeah, you're
truck
right.
or whatever,
So,
right?
so I'm,
That's gonna take a half a
What he-
good down
what he
there.
that's a good point, that's a good point.
So, okay, so
you know,
you
this is
spent all
a
the
security blanket for
money
the
on
town. Still,
engineering for
that money's gotta be used up, not going anywhere.
No, that's the thing, is
You know.
you still, if you only take 150, you got 350, you're gonna use 45 for the splash pad, it leaves you 150,000.
That's not gonna pay for those other two
I
water
wish I could
projects.
turn around, I got that quote there from,
Not even close.
that new pickup that I got a quote for. from
So
the
take
other
some of the money and use it for the ARPA money, use it for his equipment. You know, I think, see whatever you think you gotta have in there, the projects that you've got, ready to go.
But none of, neither one of those funds are gonna raise
Not-
taxes.
not at
It's
this
already in there. They're already in the unallocated fund reserve. The ARPA money's already there. That isn't gonna raise taxes. So I'm just saying, why would you paint yourself in the corner where that, you're gonna take that money and you cannot use general fund money on Mason Lane because it's a special district. You can't use it on Ricks and Ave because that will be a special district. You can't use general fund money for that. You could use ARPA money for it. So why would you wanna use the ARPA money and then paint yourself in a corner where you can't, you could pull out of the general fund for any of those? You could give them,
You know, they keep
What's that?
saying.
whatever you wanna do.
I don't, I'm just saying that,
Just-
so where's Macy Lane at right now? What are we doing?
I just got Ron to do the engineering on the back to
Yeah.
split that up into two, phase one and phase two. It's gotta go down to,
Yeah.
this is way off the
That's what I
budget,
figured.
but it's gotta go down to, health department. Ryan Davies is gonna stamp that. Then that project will be split into two projects, phase one and phase two.
Every day.
So they'll have to go out to bid for the phase one to finish the loop in the back, and hopefully that takes care of most of the pressure issues that we got in the water volume down there. And then we can
It's
boost
here for the town forever.
the, pressure by, 2 or 3 pound increments. And hopefully we don't blow that flooring line in. If that all works out, they may never have to do the phase two of that project. But the other thing is, it's all there. So if they wanted to, by breaking it into two, you don't lose the engineering and you don't lose the approval from the health department. So now if 5 years from now or 8 years from now, they say, okay, we got enough money and we wanna do that middle section, you're not wasting money re-engineering stuff and reapproving what you already got approved now. It's like a win-win, you know what I mean? It's there if you need it. If you don't ever want to use it or do it, then you didn't lose any money.
So how much money can we take out of that to buy equipment?
I don't want.
Anything, or you wanna take it all out of his unappropriated funds?
ARPA you could utilize on multiple things. So that's,
Highway equipment's one of them, correct?
you could,
Yeah.
but you can't use general fund or his highway money on the other stuff.
Right, so I'm
So
not saying take it all.
why would you wanna use something that you could use money on anywhere for anything that you decide to do, when you already have monies that are in an account to buy highway equipment? I don't get it. Why wouldn't we use the unallocated money out of the highway fund? Because he's probably,
you're saying
if he don't spend
basically-
any money, he's gonna have 800,000 in there, right? Okay, so
But he's
why
got more
would,
than enough to buy the equipment that he
the
needs.
reason we've been doing a budget
Without
this way
raising
for the
the
last 3 years is so that there are monies in there when he needs to buy something and they don't have to pay for it with a bond.
Well, from what I'm seeing though, you're looking at the highway department, if we can take and buy that equipment out of the unallocated funds, all this equipment in here, we've got more than enough to pay for, we don't even have to put it in the budget.
Well, you still have to put it in the budget and then also offset it with the unappropriated funds, but it has to be.
Right, but we're not gonna raise it by taxes.
No. you
No,
gotta
it's
take it
already
out of the
there.
So
That's
that's
why,
all I'm saying, I don't
that's
wanna,
why you do it that way.
well, that's
You could do it the
fine.
other way, where they did 20 years ago, and they gave it all away and had a zero general fund, and then they ended up with a 800% increase in 1 year, if you wanna go back to those days.
Now, what I'm saying, you guys understand what I'm saying?
I do, and Mary, we have what, 400,000 left in ARPA right now?
You got it all, yeah,
Roughly.
well, almost. Yeah.
Almost
We spent-
400,000.
No, you got more than that,
We
More
spent
than
like
that.
20.
huh?
We spent like 20, I think.
At,
There you go.
$500,000.
So we have adequate money in ARPA.
And that's what I'm saying, that ARPA money, it can be utilized on anything, any emergency that came up, or any special districts. You can't do that with the highway fund unallocated, and you can't do that with the general fund. You can take it out of the general fund and put it in a special district, but you better be able to pay it back within 12 months or by the end of the year, or you better be able to bond it.
But didn't you say that ARPA money has to be spent by the end of next year?
It has to be
20.
allocated by 2024 and spent
Yeah.
by 2026, I think.
Was it, did they add a year again?
Yeah, they added 2 to each of it. It's gotta be allocated by the end of this year, so you need to know what you're gonna spend it on. But, and then I think
By
you
the
got
end of
till
next year.
2026 to get it done. So that's what I was saying. When you're talking about water projects, those monies can only be, you can only get taxes or use money from taxes from the special district itself. So I don't care if it's Macy Lane, or Morrisville Water, or Rixon Ave if it ever goes through, or Woods Mills, okay? But ARPA money, you could use it in any of those for any reason that you needed to. You know what I'm saying?
Can I just say this quickly, Kevin? I've been out around town quite a bit. The people are concerned with no shoulders. The no shoulder deal.
Yeah,
We need shoulders. We have a liability issue here.
yeah,
We can't be sitting on this.
yeah. I wasn't sitting on it either. You can ask this man that I went
No,
down
I'm
and talked
just
to
saying,
Mike
Kevin, it's
Thurlow.
ongoing and it's not good.
I went down and talked to Mike Thurlow at the county, and I tried to do a shared services purchase. I myself went and talked to Mike Farrell in Peru, and then I went to the town of Plattsburgh and talked to Greg over there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they all have shoulder machines, and they do. Peru usually deals with like Harkness and that area.
Blackbrook.
Blackbrook.
And
And
I'll
then
say
Greg, he goes, I'm really not interested in shoulder machine because I got one. He goes, a bigger milling machine I might be interested in. Because if I could have got the 3 towns to go together on it, we could have, for about 71,000 out of his general or unallocated fund, we'd have got 158,000 worth of free grant money to buy all these pieces that he wants. But unfortunately,
they all have one. Beaman Town has one.
that's when I went to
Everybody
Mike.
has
I
one.
said, call around,
So,
call the highway superintendents around and see if you can find a couple towns. And Mike's been, Zerlo's been after me for the last 3 weeks. There, did you find 2 towns to go in? I'll get it, all the paperwork done, we'll do it. That's how we bought the paver. We went in with Beekman Town, Town of Plattsburgh and you, right?
Yep.
And that's how we did it. That's how you save money, rather than one town buying everything you
but
need.
this shoulder machine, everybody, all the surrounding town has one.
Right. So, we're talking about $111,000 probably, right? You got plenty of money in the unallocated fund reserve.
I'm working on another quote also,
Yep.
and it seems gonna be, I'm just trying to get it close to apples. We talk apples to apples instead
Right.
of grapefruits to plum, you know?
I mean, we talk all the time. I was the one
But
that told
but
him
it's not
you
easy.
need
I
a
mean,
milling machine.
You just don't do it that quick.
You paved the roads 1,000,000 times and they never been ground down. The curb stops, instead of being 14 inches, are now, what, an inch and a half?
Some
Matter of
don't
fact,
even-
you had on River Street, you
Some
had
don't
to
even
put,
know they're there.
yeah, River Street, you had to put frickin' coal patch and make a hump all the way across the front of that guy's driveway,
Yeah.
so that the water wouldn't run off our road into his driveway
And
and
if they
wash
would've-
all his
If they would've
front
got,
yard away.
if they would've got milled 35 years ago,
So
You'd
that's
still
what I
see-
said,
you'd
see if you
still
can
see
find a
curb.
milling machine.
Look in front of your apartment building,
you know,
the water just, it's terrible,
Right.
sits there.
Oh, well, that whole thing needs to be redone. There is no drainage on, the county should take care of that before we took it back over, but that's another story. We took it over, so we're stuck with it. The county
so,
won that.
so what we're talking about is the milling machine and a pickup. Then the pickup will be all over with. The pickups aren't that much. I left the quote home. I got it. Thanks to you, I thought about where am I gonna start? I went right to Bailey's. And I left it home. I believe it was 44 or 48,000. And that's just kind of like a bear truck or something. And that's only a 250 gas gallon, not as big, nowhere near as big as Sam.
So if we left it 200,000 like we did last year, that's what we put in the budget if I remember right? Out of the unallocated?
Yeah, but you're gonna want more than 200 if he's talking the truck and the.
And what?
If you're talking the truck and.
Yeah, you're milling.
The road wide.
Road wide.
Road wide.
The road wire is 111, the truck's 48, you're way under 200,000.
Yeah, but he usually has 80,000 in there just for equipment for the garage.
What's that?
He usually has 80,000 in that line item for equipment.
In that 200,000.
Plus that 200,000.
Plus it. That's what.
Well, that's
we-
another line
we're
item right
talking-
here.
Huh?
That's another line item right below that one, the 80,000.
But you got, cause you had 280 in there for, oh, I see, because you took the minus 80 over here. I see what you did. You took the 80 out. So we'd have to change that. And
But
put
what
that
is
back in.
machinery, CE, what is
That's
that?
his contractual, that's
Couldn't-
anything to fix the truck, but the other equipment is for miscellaneous equipment and miscellaneous equipment for the trucks.
Right.
Like if he needs,
So how much you saying is gotta be in there?
But they've always kept 80, but I mean, well, last year we went to 24.
If his trucks
23,
break down, 'cause he
55.
doesn't have good trucks, he's gotta fix them.
In
Actually, year
2022,
to date,
we
we only,
spent $60,000.
that's 60,000, right? Is the way I'm reading it. In 2023, 60,500 bucks.
60,500.
And actual year to date, he spent almost all of it. He spent 55,948.
I'll go back to what I said before, so what are you saying, instead of 200,000, he should go back to the 280 to cover what he needs?
Well, the year before, he spent $60,000, not counting any big equipment. That's all his small equipment. So if you're talking about 60,000 plus for the two items,
So you're talking at least 250.
exactly.
Yeah,
So add
Easy as
50 to 200.
So change the 200 to 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I can take the rest out of the unappropriated funds. I'll do that tomorrow.
okay. You got that?
As long as that's what you want, 250.
Yep.
I'm just saying 200 is not enough.
I was gonna say 275, but 250,
And I think-
should be able to cover it.
Yeah, but the 200 was coming out of that
You
unallocated.
gotta remember, equipment means like, oh, there's any tools that he needs,
Mhm.
you know, all that stuff. I don't know what he needs during the year, but he needs money in that line item besides
That's what I'm
two
saying,
equipment.
because you did 277 before, granted, we did buy that big, roller.
Yeah, you might wanna go 275 just to make sure.
Yeah,
It depends on what you're gonna have
You
him
can always
buy.
take money out of his unallocated as he needs it, right?
Yeah, that's what you'd be doing. You change the 200.
If you change to 200,
to
I,
260, to,
We
what
don't
do you
wanna
say?
jack his tax rate up,
well, no, it's not,
no.
that's not, they're gonna
because
change.
it's already there.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I was worried about was, last year, was how it affected the tax cap, the 2% tax cap. Not that we didn't have the money and we weren't just gonna use it,
Right.
but if it put us over the 2% tax cap. But it didn't, because it was already in there.
So what do you
I
want
get
to
it.
put in that?
That'd be worth 3.5%
So-
right now to pick up.
So is that what you wanna do, is change that to 200? In the EQ, you wanna change that to 275?
I'd say 275.
Is that what everybody wants to do?
Yeah, you shouldn't want him to get a bare bones truck.
Go ahead.
Right.
No, we want
That's,
all the bills and whistles, right?
Well, no, it's,
No, but,
it's
I think it
state
should be
contract,
3.5%
so,
locked in too.
Yeah,
no, it's gonna be whatever's on state contract.
I'm talking about
Raise the raise.
so we raised it up to 275, okay? What else we got?
And I don't know anymore.
I don't either, I'm lost. Snow removal, what's PS, person driver?
That's the highway guys pay in the winter time. And again, that's an estimate because you don't know what the overtime's gonna be.
Right, the 2870 is regular overtime, and this is snow overtime. The 32,000, right?
Right.
I don't know. That's a
Plus their-
$32,000
raises.
increase over last year's budget, 20%. Is that about what the raises were? The raises were only 4.5.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I just don't know why we're going so high on this overtime. Cause
that
that,
high the last one too.
that does come out of the tax dollars.
I haven't seen us make much cuts, I can tell you
I
that.
haven't either.
So,
Do you think you could lift Mike with
Last year's
cutting that
actual was
32,000 down somewhat?
104,
Don't you
550,
just plug that in, Reg?
budget
That was just a
as
guess on
modified,
my area.
160.
well, I'm one man short right now,
Right.
but
Right.
I pray every day that the phone rings and a more than eligible man, or
Yeah.
woman, comes in that garage and starts working.
That'd be nice.
I worry about it every day.
Alright, but if you look at what the budget is, we budgeted in 23 for 160,000, right? And we spent $81,848. Now we were what?
That's almost 3 guys short all year long.
That was 2 guys short,
2
right?
guys plus 1 in between too.
Plus we're gonna-
Yeah, one in between.
1 came and he only stayed.
November,
3
December,
weeks.
January, February, March.
But I'm just saying, from
Yeah.
from 81,000 to 192 is doubling what we spent. Even I understand we're 2 guys short, but we're doubling what we think we're going to spend.
You
in
guys can
over-
lower if you want it. That's good.
Last year's actual was
Well, so
104.
if you had the number of people that you normally would have, that would go
that
into
was
regular
22.
pay, not
It's
in.
104,000.
Yeah.
Right now, you're getting a
And
lot
this
of
year we
overtime
spent
pay because you
81
don't have
so
enough
far.
people.
We're going to spend a little bit more
Right.
because
No, right now.
you got November and December.
I
so
can't
We're
we're
at
gonna-
160 now.
Not right now, she
Well,
said.
not right now, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
in the
If you
winter,
have the
it'll
number
be all
of
winter
people
long.
that you need,
Well, we got
you're not gonna have
30,000.
a lot of overtime pay. You should be able to.
Right.
Well, you
not
still
as
have
much.
overtime in the wintertime, yeah.
Right.
You still get to have some, but not,
Well, yeah, but you,
Not if you
like
got
if you
short
got 3
bodies.
people coming in at 4 o'clock and 3 people coming in at
Not 12 grand?
8 o'clock, whatever.
Right.
You know how you switch it up?
I haven't switched because I've never had enough
Yeah.
workers
to do it.
We want
for a full winter.
That's what I'm trying to say, is if you don't have enough workers, you're
I
gonna
mean-
have to pay out the overtime.
I mean,
You still got to
honestly
work,
though,
just don't have the
look,
workers.
Michael,
So you either pay them regular pay or overtime
This is-
pay.
this is what it's going to change.
You,
8
I didn't
cents.
hear everything you said.
If you're putting in all this overtime pay, it's because you had not enough
Still,
people on
we
your
just-
regular
we just-
payroll.
We haven't cut much, we just keep
No, you're gonna
adding.
have overtime.
Sometimes, but you're still gonna have overtime.
No,
Well,
what
I
I'm trying to
understand that,
figure
you're
out
not
is
gonna
this
have
one.
nearly as much.
66.
I beg to differ.
That'll come
I
down.
beg to differ because I'm gonna say,
Well, once
that's a
we-
scary situation.
There,
Tomorrow night.
I may have to go out 4 times within a 24-hour
some
period.
of it was 2 pickups.
You know what I mean? And every time I call them back
That's
in,
already
And
this month.
then,
boom, there's 4 hours at time and a
by
half.
10%.
If I call them in twice, that's 8 hours, more than the top of their 8 hours they've already
We're
worked.
still gonna go.
Plus Sunday, it's a double
We'll
time.
be okay.
32,000 is the least of
You
your
don't
work.
want to spend
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I agree with you on that one.
Mary, what was
And it's a
that?
guessing game on that line.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Mary, what was that offset? I'm sorry, was somebody else talking to you? What was our offset out of
Yeah.
the unallocated for the general
It's-
fund?
It's a
What
rough,
do you mean?
it's rough. It's
Oh,
rough.
I know, I know.
You know, like,
Oh, yeah, I know.
what we're taking out of the unallocated fund, like, because we get $500,000 in, tipping fees from the landfill. So
I just got a hook.
I've been keeping half of it, put in the unallocated, and they're about, I think it was like 256,000 we're putting into the offset, the general.
Right now it's 550.
How much?
550,
That's what we're taking out of
the general.
the general to offset the budget?
Yeah, and 200 out of the highway, but the highway's gonna go up.
And the general's not?
Yeah, but 550 was, you're talking everything. You're talking 100,000 for the
Yes,
parks
yeah,
and, yeah. No, I meant specifically what we were taking out to offset for,
Just for the highway.
no, the general tax.
There's what you're trying to do.
Alright, let's see if we can work through the rest of this. I just,
The rest of it is just your water, which you can't really do much anyway.
you know,
There is
So are we
one-
staying with the 32? What are we doing?
well, I'm just looking, if you look Werner here, you're looking at changing from the tentative budget from last year's budget. The highway was at 291 1,000, right?
Right.
With what she's got predicted here for her overtime, and she knows better than anybody because she does the checks and the payroll. She's got it at 299. So you're looking at an 8-cent increase to the highway fund, which is pretty nominal for as much as everything's gone up. I don't think we're killing anybody at 8 cents.
And that's gonna go down because I'm gonna take more out now because of the equipment.
Right.
So that's gonna go down.
Yeah, all the numbers get affected by what we utilize for the unallocated.
I mean, I know 30,000 sounds like a lot, but
It's not.
No, and they're calling for a bad winter. We'll probably won't get a snowflake because they are calling for a bad winter.
Let's hope,
But it's a crystal ball thing again.
let's hope.
Alright,
Even if it was 8 cents, I mean, you're looking at 36 cents for the regular budget, general, right?
66 we had down there.
From 30 to 66, so that's 36 cents more, 1,000. 30 to 66.
and you
Is
can take
36
more,
cents, yep.
and you can take more out of the unappropriated to offset that. That's whatever you guys want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
You want me to raise that more to lower the taxes? I can raise that one. That's, you let me know well, we're not gonna know really until I plug in the 3.5%
And see what that changes everything.
Yeah, let's wait until
and
tomorrow.
we're taking out at least 20,000, cause you're taking out 17,000 alone for the JCO.
And you're taking 20-something thousand out for the pickup truck of, Howard.
But you gotta decide what you wanna put in there to buy, if you're gonna buy Mike's truck for him or buy that, whatever you're doing.
No, that would, as far as, that's what I'm saying. Mike's equipment should come out of,
No,
Mike.
but Mike's gonna get a new truck. But
Well, Mike's gonna get a new
if
truck, but we
Howard's
using
gonna buy
his.
Mike's truck, then you need money in that line item to buy that truck from the highway department. So how much are you gonna buy the truck off Mike?
right, but there again,
It's a lot.
it's line items. Because we could take,
Right, but,
we could take 9,000 out of the general to pay the highway.
right, so am I taking that whole 25,000 now? Or, actually, no, because he wanted 75.
You know what I'm saying?
7,500.
He wanted 7,500 for his,
Well, he dropped it to 7,500 just for his training
for
and
his
stuff.
training. But am I putting money in there for the truck?
How did we used to do it when we used to give the youth
You
department?
didn't give it, you bought it.
How much did we used to, what would be a norm, wasn't, it
I know
wasn't like
one
a,
time the youth department bought a truck off the highway for, I think it was 5,000. But I
5,000.
don't
Yeah.
know,
I'm thinking, you know what? I could be happy with 5,000. If that truck
that's gotta be Mike's choice, cause it's Mike's.
If that truck- basically has been paid for a long time ago by the highway department. So if you take and put 5,000 into your budget after it gets fixed, it's gonna, how much is it gonna cost to get it up to 100%? You don't know.
I'll,
No, we're not
hopefully
until it
tomorrow I'll
gets
get a
sorted out.
chance to get that light checked again. But the issue is, and it's been ongoing, like I said, that's why I don't like to take it too far. You know, you'll step on it and you'll get from here to the other side of the park.
I mean, we gotta get
And
it
it
fixed.
dies out,
100%.
and it comes back.
But what I'm saying is, the 66 cents a thousand for the general was inclusive of his pickup truck,
Right.
okay? If we're gonna take it out of the unallocated fund reserve, it's gonna lower that 66